Ramakatha Rasavahini, Prema Sudhamritavahini, Sathya Sanatani Dharma Swarupini, Shanti Pradayini Mokshakarini, Ramakatha Rasavahini, Ramakatha Rasavahini.
Sai Ram, everyone. We will start the study cycle with three Omkarams. Om. 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 Sai Ram. Just to recollect where we are studying Ramakatha Rasavahini written by Swami. We are in chapter 5. The princess had gone on a pilgrimage to various auspicious locations, and they have returned. They were gone for 3 months, and after they returned, there was so much jubilant in the capital. The mothers were very happy to have the children back. The King Dasharatha celebrated it with lots of charity and so on. That's what we read and discussed last week. We'll just read that the last set of slides and then we'll proceed further. Okay, I will stop here. Ron, or?
Certainly, I can read.
Yes, thanks.
Sai Ram. Ah, the excitement, the thrill of the mothers were indescribable. The pang of separation which they had suffered for 3 long months could be assuaged a little, only by having the children in their care and custody day and night for a few days. They wanted them to relate the story of their pilgrimage, and the boys narrated, in sweet, simple, sincere style, the sacredness of each holy place, as explained to them by Sumantra. The queens listened to these narratives with such ardor and faith that they too seemed to experience the exhilaration each shrine provides for the earnest pilgrims. Dasharatha celebrated the return of the young princes from their holy journey by offering oblations to the gods and arranging a magnificent banquet for all Brahmins who had successfully completed the pilgrimage to Kashi and Prayaga. He gave the latter monetary gifts too. Thus, since the day when the princes were born, it was one continuous round of festival and feast in the capital city and in the kingdom. The city of Ayodhya shone with uninterrupted rejoicing. Feasting and festive entertainment knit the populace into a family, bound by love and gratitude. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Ron. Anyone would like to discuss any of the points which Swami has made here in this slide? If not, we will proceed further. I guess we are good to proceed. Okay, Ron. Ron, again, I think it's yours.
Okay. Every month, the days on which the children were born, that is the 9th, the 10th, and 11th days of the bright half, were filled with gorgeous ceremony to mark the happy event. Even when the boys were away on pilgrimage, these days were celebrated as grandly as if they were in the city. Except for functions where their physical presence was needed, all else, the feasts, the gifts, the games, the dance, all were gone through with enthusiasm. The parents noticed a change in the boys as a result of the pilgrimage. The transformation was very surprising, and they hoped that the strange ways of life they had assumed might weaken with the passage of days. They watched their behavior and attitudes with great attention, but they continued, with no sign of diminution. Rama stayed mostly indoors. He did not bathe at fixed hours, as he had been doing so far. He had a dislike to wear royal robes. He desisted from delicacies. He never sat on the golden throne. He appeared as if he was immersed in the contemplation of the absolute, of something beyond the senses and the mind. Since their brother appeared so morose and was ostensibly sulking, the three younger brothers always kept near him. They never left his presence for games or for any other reason. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. Auntie, shall we read the Telugu?
సరే. నెల నెలకు వచ్చు నవమి, దశమి, ఏకాదశుల యందు పిల్లలు పుట్టిన పండుగలు అత్యంత వైభవంగా జరిపేవారు.
In each month, when the 9th, 10th, and 11th days came, these were the tithis on which the children were born. There was a great celebration on those days.
గడచిన 3 మాసములు పిల్లలు అయోధ్యలో
In the past 3 months, the children were not in Ayodhya.
అయోధ్యలో భవనమున లేకపోయినను,
Even though they were not in the palace in the city of Ayodhya,
పిల్లలకు చేయు వింతలు తప్ప
except for the things which were done to the children,
మిగిలిన దాన ధర్మ నృత్య గానం ఆది కార్యములు
all the rest of the activities such as charity and performance of various dharmic activities, dance and songs, etc.,
కార్యం పట్టణములో జరిపించునే ఉండిరి.
they were holding those functions in the city all this time as well.
యాత్ర నుండి తిరిగి వచ్చిన రాజకుమారులు,
The princes who had returned from the pilgrimage,
ముందువలే కాక
instead of the earlier times,
అత్యంత ఆశ్చర్యకరమైన ప్రవర్తనలతో మెలుగుచుండుట,
they were behaving in very surprising manner of behavior.
తల్లులు గమనించిరి.
The mothers noticed them.
దినములు గడచిన కొలది
As the days passed by,
అలవాటుచే ఏర్పడిన ఈ పద్ధతులు
this type of behavior which came about due to some habit,
మార్చువచ్చును అని తలంచి
they may change, thinking so.
దినమును కనిపెట్టుకొని ఉండిరి.
They were watching it day by day.
కానీ ఎట్టి మార్పు కనిపించలేదు.
However, there were no changes in the.
రాముడు పూర్వం వలె ఎక్కువ వెలుపలకు వచ్చేటివాడు కాడు.
Rama was not coming outside just the way he used to do in the past.
సకాలమునకు స్నానాదులు చేసేటివాడు కాడు.
He was not taking bath at the appropriate time.
రాజదుస్తులు మహా విసుగుగా చూచెడివాడు.
He used to look at the royal robes with disgust.
మృష్టాన్నములు తినక బంగారు పీటపై కూర్చునక,
Instead of taking part in delicious food, nor sitting on the golden throne,
ఏదో పరధ్యానముగా ఉండునట్టులా కనిపించుచుండెను.
it was as if he was contemplating on something which is much beyond the para or the supreme.
అన్న అట్లుండొచ్చే మిగిలిన తమ్ముళ్ళు ముగ్గురును,
When the older brother was like this, the remaining 3 brothers,
అన్నతోనే ఉండేవారు.
they used to stay with the brother.
నలుగురు ఒకే గదిలో చేరి,
And the 4
brothers,
and auntie, I don't think it was.
It is written here. Yeah. Okay. They never left his presence.
Yeah. Thank you, auntie. Sai Ram, everyone. So Swami is introducing some changes which were noticed in the brothers after their pilgrimage. So I will stop here. If anyone would like to discuss any of the points, please do so. Maybe we should read another slide, Auntie, because I think it's just Swami starting this. Maybe I will ask Ron to read. We can come back if necessary.
Okay, sure.
Yes, Ron, please go ahead.
All right. The four used to gather in a room and bolt themselves in. The mothers had to tap the door at intervals to bring in their food. However hard the mothers tried to discover why they behaved so, they never revealed the reason. Rama alone deigned to answer their queries thus: "This is my nature. Why seek to know the reason for my being so?" The mothers soon felt that this state of things could no longer be kept away from gaze. They informed Dasharatha. He sent word that the boys be brought to his apartments. But finding that the sons, who previously would have rushed in, took a long time to come, he was filled with wonder and worry. He made ready to proceed to their room himself. Just then the attendant announced that the princes were approaching. The father was overwhelmed with bliss. He embraced them and held them tight to his breast. He sat with the sons on both sides. He inquired from them about things, light and serious. Formerly, if he asked just one question, the boys used to reply to 10. But that day, when he asked 10, they scarce replied to one. Sai Ram.
Thank you.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
నలుగురు ఒకే గదిలో చేరి
All the four used to get together in one room.
తలుపులు వేసుకొనడివారు.
They used to lock the door.
వేళ వేళకు అమ్మలు తలుపులు తట్టి
At appropriate times, the mothers used to knock on the door.
వారులకు ఆహారములు పెట్టేడివారు.
They used to give them their food.
తల్లులు ఎంత బ్రతిమాలినను
However much the mothers
tried to
tried,
కారణము చెప్పేడివారు కారు.
they never gave any reasons.
రాములు మాత్రము ఇది నాకు సహజము, దీనికి కారణమేమున్నది?
Rama alone replied, "This is my nature. What else is the cause for this?"
అని మాత్రము అనడివాడు.
Thus alone he used to respond.
ఈ విధముగా పెరిగిపోవుచున్న వీరి మార్పులు
In this manner, the behavior which was getting more and more,
మరుగు పెట్టుట మంచిది కాదని అమ్మలు తలంచి
this should not be kept under wraps. Thinking so, the mothers,
దశరథునికి తెలిపిరి.
they informed Dasharatha.
దశరథుడు పిల్లలను తన గదికి రమ్మని కబురు పంపెను.
Dasharatha sent word for the sons to come to his apartments.
దీనికి పూర్వము కబరు అంపగానే పరుగేడి వచ్చుచున్న బాలులు
In the past, whenever such call was sent, they used to run and come.
ఈనాడు ఎంత కాలమైనను రాకుండుట చూచి
Today, however long it took, they were not appear to come. Seeing this,
ఆశ్చర్యముతో ఆలోచనతో తానే పిల్లల చెంతకు వచ్చుటకు
so he was surprised and he was a bit thoughtful, thinking that he himself would go to the children's apartment.
పడుచుచుండ ఇంతలో
Making up his mind to do so.
సేవకుడు వచ్చి చిన్న ప్రభువులు దయచేయుచున్నారని తెలిపెను.
One of the servants came and said, the small kings or the small lords are on their way.
Yeah, younger princes also were on their way.
Okay.
దశరథుడు పట్టలి ఆనందముతో పిల్లలను నలుగురిని
So Dasharatha was so overjoyed. He called the children, all the 4 children.
పొట్టకు కరిపించుకొని he hugged them.
He hugged them to his bosom.
వాళ్ళను ఇరుపక్కల కూర్చొనబెట్టుకుని
He made them sit on both sides.
ఎన్నియో వింతలు విశేషములు
He was in various subjects and topics.
అడుగా మొదలు పెట్టను.
He started asking them about. Some more, auntie.
Yeah. పూర్వము 1కి 10 చెప్పుచున్న పిల్లలు
in the past, the children who used to respond to 10 when asked 1.
అడిగిన ఒకటైనను చెప్పటకు ప్రయత్నించకుండుట చూచి
they were not making an effort even to answer even a single question.
రాముని తొడపై కూర్చుండపెట్టుకుని
He made Rama sit on his lap.
నాయన నీకేమి కావాలను?
Oh son, what do you need? What do you want?
ఎందులకి విధముగా పలుకక మౌనము వహించితివి?
Why are you keeping silent without giving any answers?
నీకంటేను నాకు వేరు లోకమును ఏమున్నది?
Sorry, Sai Ram.
I think it's not. Yeah, so it's actually this is not there in Telugu.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, we'll stop. Okay. Anyone would like to discuss any of the points? Swami is just talking about the changes in their behavior. Yes, Sister Vani.
Sai Ram, brother. So I'm noticing this change in behavior in Rama, especially, is similar to, like, when they visited these holy places and his behavior changed. I'm just referencing a similar thing when Swami was bitten by a scorpion and then he declared his avatarhood after that. So I'm just drawing some similarities, and also I like, if it's possible, why would Rama saying that it is his nature and he is God himself, but then his nature, and to go beyond senses and mind and contemplate on the absolute, so he is, I know he was born as human, so he has to behave as human, and that's why he's saying such referencing those kind of things. But is there something that we should inquire more about his nature and him referencing that he's going beyond his mind and senses and contemplating on the absolute?
Thank you, Sister. I think Brother Yog Kumaran also has his hand up, so I will ask him and before we can discuss. Yes, Brother Yog.
Sai Ram, this look like a Lord Buddha's story. When they went outside and come back, and it's a lot of changes in them. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Silent. I think Swami will discuss, and because no one knows, so we don't speculate why it happened, how it happened. It'll be nice for us to read further and find out from Lord Rama himself or Swami talking on behalf of Sri Rama. But it is just the fact that there is some change, and Rama is saying that's his nature. So I think it's what matters at this point in time. It may seem like adolescents and youngsters, they stay in their room, things like that. It seems like that. But I think rather than speculating, maybe we'll just read and go further, and then we can always come back and discuss any of the points. But I think there's a significant changes in the behavior of the princess, is what I would say. Does anyone else have something to say? Yes, Sanjay.
Sai Ram, no, I was just, it's interesting because the very reason Dasharatha sends them on the pilgrimage, a few weeks ago when we read, was was for this exact outcome. Let me see if I can go up to that section where, so that way their minds are not prone to
Towards the
bad,
world.
towards the world, and implant in them reverence, awe, and devotion to the divine that's immanent in the universe. So it's interesting, right? I think you might have narrated this, I don't know, in one of the discussions, how when students used to go on vacations, Swami used to remark about that, if boys stay here, they're good and in Puttavarthi, but when they go on vacation, parents then feel like you're becoming too spiritual, so let's go for the movies, let's go to the movies and so on. So it's interesting how there's parallels there. There's a desire for the children to be good, but when they become uh, good, there's a loss also. So it also ties into, is our happiness tied to our happiness, or is our happiness based on other people behaving the way we want them to behave? So some interesting thoughts on reading this section. I'll stop there.
Thank you, Sanjay. Yes, Ron, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, just a small thought. If we look at the Ramakatha Rasavahini as being a description, a prescription, so to speak, of how one should behave according to the ideals set by, especially by Sri Ram, but also by others around him. I take this incident a little bit in terms of being perhaps to some degree an example of how one should behave after going on pilgrimage, after a yatra of turning inward, contemplating things, not being so stimulated by the external world, but that's just how I'm seeing it. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Ron. Very nice insight. So maybe we'll read a little further. On
Dasharatha drew Rama into his lap, or onto his lap, and pleaded fondly with him. Son, why this refusal to talk? Why this silence? What is it that you desire? Tell me what you need. I shall fulfill it immediately, without fail. Since you do not mix with the brothers and play with them as formerly, they too are unhappy. Though the king lovingly stroked the chin and looked at the face of Rama, Rama did not say anything more than that he was quite content and needed nothing. Watching this strange behavior, Dasharatha grew anxious and agitated. Tears welled up in his eyes. The boys remained unaffected by his grief. The father spoke some soft words to them about how sons should conduct themselves and sent them to their apartments in the palace. Sai Ram.
Thank you, Ron. Auntie, we can read Telugu. It's Auntie. Auntie, I think you have to unmute and read, Auntie. Sorry.
రాముని తొడపై కూర్చుండపెట్టుకొని, నాయన నీకేమి కావలెను?
Sharda kept Rama on his lap and asked him, "Oh son, what do you need?
ఎందులకు ఈ విధముగా పలుకక మౌనము వహించితివి?
Why are you keeping silent without me saying anything?
నీ కంటెను నాకు వేరు లోకమును ఏమున్నది?
In this world, there is nothing other than you for me.
నీ ఇష్టమేదియో తెలుపుము.
What is your wish? Please tell me.
తప్పక గావింతును.
Right, I will definitely, without fail, I will fulfill it.
నీవు పూర్వము వలె తమ్ములతో కలిసిమెలిసి,
like before, along with your brothers,
సరదాగా సంచరించకుండట,
because you are not moving about in a right manner.
with your brothers, తమ్ములకు కూడాను బాధగా ఉండను.
For your son, brothers also, it is very difficult.
కార-
Painful.
కారణము తెలుపుము
Tell me the reason
అని గడ్డము పట్టి ఎంత బ్రతిమిలాడినను
that he held his chin and however much he begged him.
నాకు ఏ వాంఛను లేదనియు
I don't have any desires.
నేను ఆనందముగానే ఉన్నాననియు
I am always blissful.
మాత్రము తెలిపేడివాడు.
That's all he said.
కానీ మరే జవాబును చెప్పడివాడు కాదు.
He did not give any other reply.
ఈ వింత చర్యలు చూచి
This surprising behavior being seen by Dasharatha,
దశరథ తలంచిన చింతతలను ఈ వింతల చర్యలను చూచి దశరథుడు
talanchani chinta talanu.
చింత తలను చేరెను.
He had so many thoughts, worries, which reached his head.
విచారమున కంటిదారులు కార్చెను.
With grief, he started shedding tears.
కానీ పిల్లల్లో మార్పు ఏ మాత్రము కనిపించలేదు.
But in the children, there was absolutely no change.
ఏవో కొన్ని మంచి మాటలాడి
Just a few nice things he spoke.
రాజకుమారులు ఉండవలసిన విధానమును బోధించి
He was telling them how princes should behave.
పిల్లలను వారి వసతులకు పంపెను.
He sent them to their residences or places where they were residing.
That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. So anyone would like to discuss any of the points? Sorry. So as you can see, Dasharatha was as perplexed as we are about the change in behavior of Rama. Still all question marks only. You know why?
Yes, one question, brother. You see, yes, I know there is a reason we are going to find out later, but the boys remained unaffected by the grief. That is something, is something to, I don't know what to say about that, but how they were very close to the father before, and now even he's crying and his tears are welled up. They are unaffected. Is that the way Swami is saying too? They are unaffected?
Swami did not say anything that, they were unaffected. That word Swami has tuned.
Yes, it
But,
can be.
కానీ పిల్లలో మార్పు ఏ మాత్రము కనిపించలేదు. There was no change in
that is right. Okay.
After looking at the father crying, there was no change in their behavior.
Okay. So, okay. Thank you. Sai Ram.
So that has been translated as unaffected. But maybe we should read some more. I think because it's still half.
Yes.
Yeah, suspense is too much for everyone. So Ron.
He called Sumantra so that he might confer with him. He asked him whether anything had happened during the pilgrimage to put the boys out of gear, or whether he had brought them back too soon when they were themselves eager to visit a few more places of interest to them. Dasharatha plied him with so many questions that Sumantra was filled with surprise and apprehension. His lips quivered as he replied, "Nothing happened during the journey to displease the princes. No difficulty was encountered. Every wish of theirs was honored and carried through. I gave away in charity as much as they wanted. I got built, wherever they suggested, houses for pilgrims. There's no hesitation or delay. They never told me about anything happening which they did not like, nor did I notice any such. The pilgrimage was one long journey of joy and adoration." Dasharatha knew his minister well. He said at last, "Sumantra, you are a good man. I know full well that you are incapable of neglect or error. But for some inexplicable reason, I find the boys have undergone a transformation after the pilgrimage. They have developed a distaste for food and fun. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Auntie, maybe we'll read this
Sai
again.
Ram. ఓకే సుమంతుని పిలిపించి
He invited or he called for Sumanta.
పిల్లలోని మార్పును విశదముగా తెలిపి
He mentioned about the changes in the children.
యాత్రలో పిల్లలు ఇష్టములకు విరుద్ధము ఏమైనా జరిగినా
In the pilgrimage, did anything happen which was against the wishes of the children?
లేక ఇంకనూ యాత్రలు చేయట్లో వారి ఉత్సాహమునకు భంగము కలిగించి తిరిగి వచ్చితిరా?
Or did you about the journey and come back sooner without looking at places which they were enthusiastically looking forward to?
ఏమి జరిగినదో వివరములు తెలుపుము అని దశరథుడు అడుగు ప్రశ్నలకు
So when Dasharatha asked such questions, the answers for such questions,
సుమంతుడు ఆశ్చర్యమును భయమును చెందుచు
Sumantra was surprised and he was also fearful.
ప్రభు యాత్రలో పిల్లలకు ఎట్టి ఇక్కట్లు కాని
Oh Lord, during the pilgrimage for the children, there was no problems.
వారిల ఆశయములకు విరుద్ధములు కాని జరగలేదు.
There were no incidents which was against their wishes.
పిల్లల ఇష్టములను అనుసరించి
Their wishes were followed.
దాన ధర్మములు కాని యాత్రికులకు తగిన వస్తువులు కాని
all the charitable activities as well as building appropriate places of residence for the pilgrims.
వారు కోరినట్ల మరుక్షణమునందే గావించుచుండెడివాడును.
Without any delay, I made sure that whatever they asked for was done.
అట్టి క్రియల్లో ఎట్టి అసంతృప్తియు వారులకు కలిగినట్లు వారు తెలుపలేదు.
They did not mention any dissatisfaction in any of these.
నేను కూడాను తలంచలేదు.
I myself didn't see anything or think anything.
అని పరిపరి విధముల విచారముతో
in many different ways with lots of worry.
తెలుపుకొను సుమంతుని చూచి దశరథుడు
When Sumantra explained this to Dasharatha saw that.
సుమంత నీవు మహాగుణశాలివి.
Sumantra, you are a great person of character.
నీవు ఎప్పుడూ రాజ్య కార్యములందు అశ్రద్ధ కాని
In royal duties you have never shown any neglect.
పొరపాటు కాని పడువను కాదు నాకు బాగుగా తెలియను.
Or do you do anything which is wrong? That is known to me well.
కానీ ఎందులకో యాత్ర నుండి వచ్చిన తరువాత
But however, for some reason, after coming back from the pilgrimage,
పిల్లలు చెప్పలేనంతటి మార్పుతో ఉన్నారు.
Children are with some changes which cannot be explained at all.
ఆహార should I read?
I think you can read one more.
ఆహార విహారములు అసలే మానిరి.
They have given up food and other entertainment.
Sai Ram. Still the suspense continues.
The suspense continues. Yes, Ron, please go ahead.
Sai Ramana, it's me.
Oh, sorry.
I notice here that the transformation, it's such a deep level that after this pilgrimage, all four of them become a yogi actually. So if you see the behavior of them, it's exactly like a yogi, speaking very absolutely necessary, the very brief answering or in ahar. So probably it will come a little bit more in the next slide or so, I hope so. But the thing in what I have to say that their transformation is such a way they become yogic, and this is the behavior will throughout the Ramakatha Rasavahini, I think it up to the end, probably that's why they can take any pain, everything, no grief, nothing. So I find it absolutely yogic jivan they had it then. After also, they were all very balanced in that case. Sai Ram.
Thank you, Bina. Thanks. Yes, brother Narendra, Dr. Narendra.
Sai Ram, brothers and sisters, what are their age at the moment, the princes? How old are they?
Okay, brother is asking what their age was. Anyone remembers the age? They were just in their teens, early teens, from what we could read, brother, based on before they went on pilgrimage. I think that's what I remember. Anyone else has something to say, please do so. So the adolescence, if you want to put it. Yes, Rohit.
Hi, Uncle. I just had a question. Swami has written here how King Dasharatha said, for some inexplicable reason, after the pilgrimage, the boys developed distaste for food and fun, which I am understanding means equanimity of some sorts. So maybe can we discuss that? Why? I mean, how a distaste for food and fun um, would actually be a good thing for us. I'm just trying to understand here. Thank you, sir.
Sai Ram, thanks, Rohit.
Brother,
Yes, brother.
why I asked that, because my thinking is, they are now understanding more, especially Rama, they are understanding more about, who they are, what their role is. I think they are about 10, 12 or plus, something like that. And they are moving out from the children stage. But when they have not developed for food and for fun, this stage. So it is just a sign that they are growing up. They don't want to go and play around in the ground. They've seen life as to how the people in the empire are living, and they have visited the temples. They have grown up. That is what my thinking is, and that is why their behavior is like this. They are not worried about food and taste. They are maturing. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, brother. You asked the question about the age.
Yeah.
Swami says when the children were 10 or 11 during that time frame is when Dasharatha summoned the minister and told him that they should be taken on a pilgrimage.
Right.
So you can say they were 12, or between 11 and 12. They're not yet teenagers, based on the timeline Swami has given. So I hope that answers your question. Anyway, thanks for your observations. That they are maturing and growing from childhood into adolescence. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Sai Ram, brother, before when we were studying, we were talking about how we go to pilgrimage and all, right? And without any distractions and all. But here Swami is covering, after the pilgrimage, they are unaffected, as Brother Rohit mentioned. They are unaffected because they are maintaining some kind of showing up their equanimity. And that's how we also, I think everyone has to have a transformation. And see the distaste of food also, they are not like they are not looking for food that are delicious or like that. They are eating. They wanted to maybe want to eat when they are hungry only. And fun mean we always talk about the worldly fun and they are not interested anymore, kind of. So this is the way we supposed to be after the pilgrimages, kind of. Only I'm reading it. Thank you. Sai Ram. I don't know whether I'm right or not, but that's how you have to become something.
Thank you. Thank you, sister. As yes, Ron, please, or Bina.
Sai Ram, it's Ron this time. It just occurred to me something. Perhaps some of you or all of you are familiar with this particular thing, but it was handed to me when I was in Prashantinalayam in '87, which was a statement that Swami had made about how one should behave after darshan. And she's advising people to not be roaming here, there, and everywhere, but to find solitude and really reflect on the experience. Only then will the energy be complete. Otherwise, it'll be dissipated and go back to him unused. So, for whatever reason, that's just what came to my mind. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Ron. Thank you. Yes, Swami has often mentioned that we should maintain silence and go back to our roots and dwell on what has been experienced for some time at least. Thank you. Anyone else? Or would everyone prefer to read a little more? Because until we find the answers, there's not much to discuss. And of course, then we will have a lot to discuss. So why don't we proceed further, Ron? Sorry. Okay, Ron, please go ahead. Sai Ram, Ron, I think you have to unmute if you're speaking.
My apologies. However much the people around him persuaded him, Rama did not answer, nor did he indicate the reason for his strange behavior. He was immersed in his own awareness of the falsity of things. I am surprised at this. The queens, too, have taken this so much to heart that they are being consumed by anxiety. Of course, this is what Dasharatha was saying. When Dasharatha spoke thus to Sumantra, the loyal minister replied, "If permitted, I shall meet the children and try to diagnose the ailment." Dasharatha said, "Quite right. Proceed at once. Once we find the cause, the remedy isn't difficult. The cure isn't far." Sumantra hurried to the children's apartment, heavy with a load of anxiety in his heart. He found the doors bolted from inside, the guards standing outside them. When Sumantra tapped, Lakshmana opened the door and let him in. He closed the door behind him and conversed with the boys for long on various matters in order to draw out from them the reason for their malady. But he could not delve into the mystery. He noticed the difference between the confiding spirit of camaraderie which he had enjoyed during the months of pilgrimage and the distance that had grown in recent months. He pleaded with Rama with tears in his eyes for revealing to him the reasons for his melancholy. Rama smiled and said, "Sumantra, what reason can be given for something which is my very nature? I have no wants. I have no desires. You need have no anxiety on that score." Sai Ram.
Okay. Sai Ram. Shall I read? Sai Ram? Arun?
Yes,
Brother,
sorry.
you are muted, brother.
Yeah, sorry. Please,
Okay.
Auntie, go ahead.
Okay. ఎన్ని విధముల బతిమిలాడినను
Whichever way one tried to find a reason or answer
కారణము తెలుపక
without giving the reasons,
రాముడు సరిగా మాట్లాడక
Rama, without talking back properly,
వైరాగ్యమును పూనియుండుట చూడ
that he was so detached. That was his nature. That's what he was.
ఆశ్చర్యముగా ఉన్నది.
it is very difficult. It's surprising.
రాణులు కూడాను ముందునకు ఏమి జరుగునో అను భయముతో
Even the queens worrying whether what could happen in the future with that fear.
లోలోన కృంగిపోచున్నారు.
They were upset and they were quite affected by that.
అని దశరథుడు తెలుపగానే
Thus, when Dasharatha mentioned,
తమరు సెలవిచ్చిన నేనొకపారి పిల్లలతో కలిసి
if you give me permission for one, I will meet the children once.
కలిసి విషయము కొందును అని సుమంతుడు కోరగానే
Sumanta said, I will try to find out the reasons. Thus, when Sumantra said so,
దశరథుడు తప్పక వెళ్ళుము.
Dasharatha said, go without fail.
కారణము తెలుసుకొనిన దానికి
Once we know the reason for something,
తగిన కార్యములు సులభముగా గావించవచ్చు.
we can bring about the solution for that easily.
అని ఆలస్యము చేయక వెళ్ళుము అనెను.
He said, without any delay, please go.
సుమంతుడు ఆతురతతో ఆవేదనతో
Sumantra, with a lot of heavy heart and with great worry, anxiety,
పిల్లల వసతికి వెళ్ళి
he
చూడగా
went to the homes of the children and saw
తలుపులు మూయబడి ఉండెను.
the doors were locked.
ముందు మాత్రం పరిచారకుడు నిలుచుకొని ఉండెను.
In front of it, there were security standing.
మంత్రి తలుపు తట్టగానే లక్ష్మణుడు తలుపు తీసెను.
When the minister knocked on the door, Lakshmana opened the door.
సుమంతుడు లోనికి వెళ్ళి తలుపు వేసుకొని
Once Sumantra went inside, again the door was closed.
పిల్లలతో అనేక రీతుల సంభాషణలు జరిపెను.
Sumantra tried to conduct conversation in various different ways.
ఏమి చేసినను కారణము అంత చిక్కలేదు.
Whatever he tried to do, he could not find the reason.
కడకు పిల్లలు యాత్రలో తనతో నేర్పిన చనువునుకును
At the end, the way the children behaved with him during the pilgrimage,
ఉల్లాసమునకు ఇప్పుడు గదిలో తనతో సలుపు సంభాషణలకు
and all the joyful time we had, and the time now when the way they're having a conversation with him,
చెప్పరానంతటి మార్పును గమనించి
he saw such great changes. Seeing that,
కంటి ధారలు కార్చి
he shed tears.
రాముని ఎంతో బ్రతిమిలాడెను.
He asked Rama in many various ways.
రాముడు చిరునవ్వులు నవ్వుచు
Rama smiled.
సుమంత సహజమునకు కారణములేనవి
Sumantra, what is the reason for one's natural state?
నాకెట్టి కొరతయూ లేదు.
There is absolutely nothing lacking for me.
ఎట్టి కోరికలు లేవు.
I don't have any desires.
నీవు విచారించకు.
You don't worry about it.
అని సమాధానము మాత్రము చెప్పాను.
Thus he gave him a reply.
చేయనది లేక సుమంతుడు దశరథుని చెత్తుకు వచ్చి
I think that's all, Auntie.
ఓకే ఓకే
So we'll stop here. Anyone would like to discuss? So Sumantra thought he will try his hand. The queens tried, the king tried, and now the minister also tried.
We also tried.
We just speculated. We couldn't talk to Rama. That is the only thing. But Rama says it's his nature. There's no reason for it. Yes, Sister Vani, please go ahead.
It looks like, as when they went for physical pilgrimage, an outside journey, looks like they all went an inside journey too.
Yeah, but Sumantra says the way they were behaving with him during the pilgrimage and the behavior now seems to be so far different. So I think during the pilgrimage, they seem to be having fun. But now suddenly Sumantra himself is surprised that they are talking differently. So this seems to have happened after coming back. Uh, maybe they were trying to internalize what they saw, but I think this change seems to have come about after their return. Yes, Ram, please go ahead.
Maybe they will go and ask Vasishtha Guru.
They're going to, and Vasishtha also will have tough time, but we'll see.
I wonder.
Yeah, this is, there's a great text about the conversation of Vasishtha and Rama, which they had. So I don't want to jinx it, but yes, brother, Dr. Narendra.
Sai Ram, brothers and sisters, I will take you to the second sentence on the top paragraph. It says, he was immersed in his own awareness of the falsity of things. I am touched by that, the falsity of things. What does that mean?
Yes, brother. In the Telugu, Swami is not mentioning anything like that, brother. But I think in the English translation, some of this is mentioned. So I will. Where is here? It's Rama did not. In the previous
is the second line. He was immersed in his own awareness of the falsity of things.
Yeah, but in Telugu, Swami says, Auntie, you can clarify.
I'll try. People around persuaded him.
Swami says, ఎన్ని విధముల ప్రతిమిలాడినను
బతిమిలాడినను కారణము తెలుపక రాముడు సరిగా మాట్లాడక వైరాగ్యమును పోనీయుండుట చూడ ఆశ్చర్యముగా ఉన్నది.
So the word Swami has used is only vairagya. Brother, so he, like a renunciant, Rama was behaving. That's what the says. I think so. That has been translated as when someone has vairagya or detachment, or he feels renounced to the world. That means they have recognized the falsity of things. I think that's an extension of that statement, not necessarily translation. But the reality is Rama demonstrated great detachment to the world. As earlier Swami said, to food, to any form of entertainment, any other activity, even to talk, or even to come out of his room. He showed great reluctance and detachment, and I think that's what is being said. I hope that answers your question, brother.
Okay.
So just to, of course, Vasishtha is going to come, most probably. And the conversation between Rama and Vasishtha is called Yoga Vasishtha. There's a great text of great Vedantic thought which has come out of that conversation. But I think in brief, Swami will go through that. So I'll just leave it at that. Maybe we'll continue. I think everyone is puzzled. So no answers, only questions. Okay, Ron.
Unable to do anything else, Sumantra came to where Dasharatha was and sat beside him. I feel it will be good to invite the Guru tomorrow and consider which measures are proper, he said, and departed from the presence after taking the king's permission to leave. The king was sad. He neglected everything else. He ignored the demands of empire and spun many stories in his mind to account for the behavior of the children. They are entering the years of adolescence, and so such temperamental revolutions are natural, he surmised. He shared this opinion with the queens and set his mind at rest for a little while. When they learned that the preceptor Vasishtha was arriving at the palace, the queens made the preparations necessary and waited for him at the family altar. Just then the Guru arrived. All fell at his feet. They showered eager questions on him about the peculiar malady of the boys and the change that had come upon them. They were all in tears. Noticing the agitation of the kings and the queens, Vasishtha turned his attention inwards and sought the reason for the sorrow through inner vision. The truth was quickly revealed to his penetrating purity. Within seconds, he turned towards the queens and assured them, "There is nothing wrong with the boys. These are not just ordinary children. They are free from the least trace of worldly desire. Their minds are untarnished. Do not get anxious. Bring them to me. You can retire now to your apartments." Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram aunty.
సుమంతుడు దశరథుని చెంతకు వచ్చి
Sumantra came near where Dasharatha was.
రేపటి దినము గురువులు వారిని పిలిపించి,
Tomorrow, please invite our Guru.
ఆలోచనలు చెరుపుట మంచిది అని మాత్రము తెలిపి,
That it's better to consult him. That he said so.
సెలవు తీసుకుని తన కార్యములపై తాను వెళ్ళెను.
He got the permission of the king and left to look after his work duties.
దశరథుడు లోకమునే మరచి విచారమున మునిగి,
Dasharatha forgot the entire world and he was sunk in his sorrow.
పరిపరి విధముల ఆలోచనలు సలిపెను.
In various types of ways, he was thinking.
కడకు ఇది వయస్సు మారునట్టి సమయము.
At the end, he came to the conclusion that this is a change of age.
కనుక మదిలోని మార్పును చెప్పుకొనుటకు తెలియక,
Therefore, without knowing how to explain what the change in the mind is,
పిల్లలు ఈ రీతిగా ఉన్మత్తలో పడియుండురు కాబోలు.
The children have become a bit crazy in this manner. Thus he concluded.
బాల్యావస్థము వారి యవ్వనావస్థ ప్రవేశించు సమయము.
When they are moving from childhood to youth, yeah.
బహుశా ఇదే కారణము ఉండునని స్థిరం చేసుకొని,
That this must be the reason for this. Thus he settled himself.
తానను అనుకున్నట్లు రాణులు కూడాను తెలిపి,
What he thought he explained to the queens also.
కొంత శాంతిని పొందెను.
He attained some peace of mind.
తెల్లవారెను.
In the morning,
వశిష్ఠుల వారు వత్తురు అని వార్తతో,
when the news came that sage Vasishtha was arriving,
రాజు రాణులు సర్వసిద్ధమై,
the king and the queens, they got everything prepared.
పూజా మందిరమున వేచియుండిరి.
They were waiting in the prayer room.
ఇంతలో గురువు గారు రానే వచ్చింది.
At this time, the Guru came.
అందరూ గురువునకు నమస్కరించి,
All of them bowed down to the Guru.
పిల్లలోని మార్పుకు కారణములు అడుగా మొదలు
They started asking him the reasons for the changes in the children.
కంటిదారులు కార్చిని.
And they shed tears.
రాజు రాణులు విచారములు గమనించి,
Seeing the sorrow of the king and the queens,
గురువులు యోగ దృష్టిని మరల్చి,
the Guru used his yogic vision.
విషయము ఏమని పరిశీలించెను.
He examined what the reasons were.
సత్యమును గుర్తించెను.
He understood the truth.
మరుక్షణమనందే వశిష్ఠుల వారు,
The next moment, the king, sage Vasishtha,
రాజు రాణుల వైపు చూచుచు,
he looked at the queen and the king.
పిల్లలలో ఎట్టి దోషము లేదు.
There's absolutely no diminish, nothing wrong with the children.
వారు సామాన్యులు కారు.
They are not ordinary children.
వారులకు లోకవాంఛలు ఏమాత్రమునూ లేవు.
They do not have any worldly desires.
శుద్ధ మనస్కులై ఉన్నవారు.
They have pure minds.
మీరు విచారించకూడదు. విచారించకూడదు
means don't worry at all.
పిల్లలను పిలిపించుడు.
Please call the children.
ఇక మీరు మీ వసతులకు వెళ్ళుడు.
All of you go back to your places of residence.
అని ఆజ్ఞాపించారు.
Thus he commanded them. Thank you, Auntie.
That's I think. That's it.
Okay, now we can at least discuss something. So Vasishtha came, he used his yogic vision and said nothing wrong with the children. Yes, Sister Suman.
Yeah, Sai Ram, brother. I am trying to compare the enlightened person with Rama. Normally, when the people are getting enlightened, they don't have any desires. They become quiet, and they go inwards. No sufferings. That's the reason they become quiet. They don't talk to people. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to see, because I know enlightened people, and I have been studying Vedanta for a long time, and I was inquiring about these things, and I'm comparing myself or enlightened. I'm not saying I am enlightened, but I know how it will be, and so I'm just trying to compare with that, those changes. So you will become like these behaviors when you get enlightened. That's it.
Thank you, Sister. Sai Ram. Yes, Sister Vani.
So it looks like, Sai Ram, brother. So it looks like this is the first time Dasharatha is getting to know from Vasishtha that they are not ordinary children.
Yeah, means Vasishtha, I think, mentioned a couple of times, but I think he mentioned more to Kaushalya last time.
Yeah.
Dasharatha had his own ideas of what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So he did not have, I think the only times when Vasishtha told him that they are not ordinary was after their studies with sage Vasishtha. He told him that, these children are not ordinary. I have never come across children like this who have studied so fast and mastered the Vedanta. So I think at that point he had told him that they are supernormal children. They are not normal children. I think that's the only thing which I can recollect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts? I think we can discuss now what Rohit asked. Rohit was asking whether he should give up desire for food and entertainment. Something like that, Rohit.
Yes, Uncle. The question was
Fun.
Why? How does it affect? I mean, why would Swami mention it as important? I'm trying to understand, because it seems like something non-effective. Like, I mean, it does affect a spiritual aspirant's life, like a sadhaka's life, but to that extent that Lord Rama lost complete interest in food and fun. Just trying to understand the significance and how we can implement that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rohit. Anyone would like to discuss any of these points, including the question Brother Rohit has asked? So what I find interesting is Vasishtha has decided that now it is my time, and he sent them off to their places, so he can have a good discussion with Rama, Sri Rama. That's what I think. It's something which he has been waiting for ages to have this conversation, and I think this opportunity he got. It looks like. So I think, but the question may be,
Brother, is it Swami saying dislike for food, just another terminology is used because dislike or
Swami used the
not
word
craving for food, kind of.
Swami used the word manini. Means, mani means he stopped. He gave up any interest for food or
Interest for the food, right? Yeah.
ahara vihara.
Okay.
So, that's auntie, am I right? Ahara viharamulu mani, something like that, auntie.
Of course, it says mani. Mani means
To give up, auntie.
totally. He might have given up about the vihara, but without taking ahara, he would not have survived. But the craving for particular food might have been not there. I feel so.
Thank you, auntie. I'm reminded of, there was a time when Swami gave up food completely and he was only taking buttermilk. And Mother Ishwarama was very troubled by it. He used to ask everyone to give advice to Swami that he needs to eat food. Just buttermilk is not good enough. So something like that. Yes, Ron or Bina, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, one thing just occurred to me, if I recall correctly, probably in one of Swami's Vahinis, if not a discourse, I don't recall the source, in which he talks about sense control, that he has mentioned that of the five senses, often the hardest to control is the tongue because of its dual function of tasting and speaking, and that the person who can master the tongue can master any of the senses. And we see from this particular description, Sri Rama was becoming quiet and showing no interest in food. So it's just something that crossed my mind. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Ron. Yes, that's true. Swami has told that one who can control the tongue, both ways, intake as well as output, will be able to control all other senses. Yes, there are discourses as well as Vahini, Swami's. Yes, Sister Vani.
I'm also reminded, I think it's today's thought for the day or something, that Swami is saying that, for eyes and for the mouth, there is a lid. And these are the two things that is hard to control. So,
I see.
study.
Thank you, Sister. I think everyone has become like Rama. No one is talking. I think I didn't know that the impact of just reading this can have such transformative effect on everyone.
We are all ready, uncle, to go to the forest. Everybody is ready. One bus.
Yes, Rono, Bina, please.
Saramana, I'm also thinking that those in the Dwapar Yuga, and if you in this context is Kali Yuga, how much a human mind and everything around has changed. If you see a growing kid here, such a different behavior and even though you go pilgrimage and all, we all come back, and then we are after a while, when the battery, the charges goes down, we are exactly same behaving, not even having consistent in that case. We all notice our children and surrounding us that the behavior and all, it's absolutely different nowadays. I think one should be thinking to change, inner change, and some of the comments I would like if we can give the 2 cents how we can all behave, what we can do for our children, if it is possible. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, sisters. We'll see if anyone has some ideas. But about if no one is talking, I'll keep on talking. See, Swami has said when we go on a pilgrimage, our body is like a pot and we fill it with some good water. Then when we come out into the world, and if the pot is left out in the open, slowly the water in outside will just get evaporated. And we will lose all what we had gained or gathered when we went on a pilgrimage. So Swami says that's where the pot has to be left in a pool of water. The water it has gathered and brought, but if you keep it in a pool of water or in another large vessel with water, the pot will not become dry. The water which it was collected will remain within. It will not evaporate. So Swami says we have to have satsangam to keep the water from which we have gathered from evaporating. Because the reality is our body is all porous pot. The water can easily seep out. So I think most as parents, the best they can do is to make sure that the children have continuous and regular sadhana and satsangam. But generally what happens is satsangam is only when we have time. We will have satsang. We don't understand the need or the importance of regular satsang. And I think that's what happens even though we go on pilgrimage and we may collect some good water and come. We let it evaporate. And then we had to again go back to the source to fill. So I think we can limit the evaporation by regular satsang, giving it the necessary importance in our regular daily life as well as weekly life or whatever is what I think Swami himself has spoken about. So I will stop there if anyone else has something to say. Yes, Sister Sumati.
Sai Ram, yes, I agree with that one, that it's important to have the regular satsang. But sometimes I feel like, I don't know, I'm generally speaking, people think that they want to be alone for some time, they want to be away from other people. That's the feeling also is coming like that. I don't know. That's the experience I am having sometimes. Why is that? Want to be away from other people. I want to be alone. I don't want to have the satsang. I like to go for satsang. I like bhajan and all, but now I feel, no, I want to be away from that. I want to be alone like that. I feel like that one. Why is that? I don't know. I don't understand that one. If you can answer me, please. Thank you.
Okay, it's a good question, sister. So we'll ask. So Rama himself was alone by himself. So should we also be alone? Is the question I think she's asking, your sister is asking. Yes, Ron, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, just want to say to Sister Sumati that that's the beauty actually, to be alone and do sadhana. It's the best thing I find it. So yes, it is a good idea to have a group activity, satsang, but satsang can be with the reading. Satsang can be like a Ramakatha Rasavahini, what we are doing right now. But I totally agree. Sometimes in the point in the life, that point comes that you want to be alone, and it's nothing wrong in that. That's all I have to say, Saira.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Veena. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to comment on anything or discuss any of the points?
Sai Ram,
Yes, sister.
I always find it, yes, what is being alone is the question, first of all. Our mind, body, all kind of things are there. And the other thing is Satsangatve is always allow you to understand more and more Swami's teaching, um, to come to a point like sometimes we narrow it in a way when you sit alone, and probably it will come later, but as much as uh, as much as you can, because Swami's teaching is an ocean. So it's not like a few things if you grab it and thinking that I know kind of thing, and keeping away is not being alone. You come to a point where you come understand his teaching, and with the brightness you go alone, and that I think that is the right way of doing. So for that, until that period of time, the good company always helps. Thank you. That's my point of view. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, sister. Thank you. Yes, brother Yoga Kumar.
Maybe someday she went through all the things and she find nothing over there, and she feels something is staying alone is more happier than dealing with the people kind of thing. That's a very good sign for the progress of spirituality, I guess. Saira.
Thank you very much, brother. Yes, Sister Vani.
I think they are complementary. When we are doing satsangam, we learn and all that, and then we go alone and contemplate on them. So I don't see, we have to do one or the other. We can do both.
Thank you very much, sister. Yes, Sitaram.
Sai Ram, sorry, I think this time is almost up, but I'll just recall what Swami used to say for Ekantamu and Ekaki. So there is a sea of difference between these two words. So if Sumati sister was mentioning about solitude, which is Ekantamu, Swami says, I think it is everywhere. Wherever you go, whatever you do, if you are in union with God, in constant thought of God, and in that awareness, you are still alone. You are still in that state of solitude. But like here, if you see, Rama is not staying away from people or something. He's just being in his apartments, in his residence. When people are calling, he's coming and talking to them, but in his own nature. While the other side of it is loneliness. It's ekaki means being lonely, which Swami tells it's a disease actually. If you think I have to sit alone and do not want to participate or share, then it is considered as a disease. So, not pointing at anybody here, but these are the two words that Swami used to use very often in his discourses, ekaki and ekantam. So, we should decide where we are based on our behavior and the benefit which we are able to give to the society through our ekantam. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, I would like to add one. Ekaki Loka Samhari, one word. Ekaki Loka Sanchari is another word. That just I wanted to add.
Very
Sai Ram.
nice, Auntie.
Auntie, you have to expand it.
Explain, please.
Ekaki Loka Samhari, he can beat everybody by his this thing, he can take any weapon and kill the whole world. But Ekaki Loka Sanchari, the one who goes around the world, is Loka Sanchari. Loka Samhari, Loka Sanchari. The difference. When Sitaram mentioned about Ekaki, I just remembered that. Sai Ram.
Yeah, thank you, Auntie. Thank you. See, people have this need to be alone, but they want to rule over the world. They will kill the world. They can achieve anything. And people also think I can travel everywhere.
Okay.
But they are only for themselves.
Yes.
But Ekanta means one who is always united with that one. So I think whether we stay alone at home or whether we among people, I think the most important thing is to see how our mind is. Are we happy? Are we always in a state of bliss? Are there any worries? Are there negative qualities in us? That will tell us whether we are in the spiritually progressing or it becomes a disease. As Sitaram says, Swami himself has spoken about it. Ekanta Vasam is a person who has attained such great state that whether he is in the world or whether he is in it's a room, they are with the same Brahman. And they are in a state of bliss continuously. They're absolute, they don't have any trace. Swami has already mentioned his mind, Vashishta is saying, his mind is totally pure. If the mind is totally pure, the person is in Ekantavasa, wherever it is. If our mind is not pure, then we have to question what we are doing. I think it's about 10:17. I think we'll close 10:20. We will close for today and we will meet again next week. Until then, maybe we will all contemplate on this and come back. Okay, Sai Ram, everyone. We'll close with Samastaloka prayer. Sai Ram. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.